Coming up on Confidential, Vince McMahon talks about his tumultuous relationship with Hulk Hogan.
Hogan had an idea, and certainly I'll give him credit for that. Someone had to take this idea in its infancy and groom it and mold it and shape it, into what it is today. That's what I did.
Hi, I'm Gene Okerlund, and this is WWE Confidential. Tonight we'll take a look inside our vault for a classic match. Plus, John Cena will take us on a tour of Belfast, Ireland, and Christopher Nowinski returns to his alma mater to speak with some Harvard alumni. Those are just some of the things you can expect to see on tonight's show. But first up, Vince McMahon speaks candidly about his relationship with Hulk Hogan. 2 months ago at WrestleMania, we saw the culmination of 20 years of pent-up frustration between two men who have done it all in this business. But apparently, even that brutal encounter hasn't ended this feud. Mr. McMahon thought he had rid his company of Hulk Hogan, but now Mr. McMahon believes Hogan has resurfaced again, this time as Mr. America, which is why Vince McMahon is obsessed with proving to the world that Mr. America is indeed Hulk Hogan. Vince McMahon stated in a recent interview that he believes in all the years he has known Hogan, Hogan has never told the truth. Whether it was testifying against Vince McMahon in federal court or competing against McMahon with his rival, Ted Turner, and World Championship Wrestling. Here now is Vince McMahon's take on a tenuous relationship with Hulk Hogan that began more than 20 years ago.
I first met Hulk when my father in the old Capital Wrestling Corporation brought Hogan in. His name was Sterling Golden, which was a horrible name. And my dad, obviously knew it was a horrible name, and he saw this young kid, big 300-pounder, long blonde hair, full of spunk and charisma, and decided your name is not going to be Sterling Golden. Your name is going to be Hogan. My dad was very proud of being Irish, and when he had an opportunity, he named almost everything Irish, hence the name Hogan. And my dad saw Hogan as this really bad heel because he was so large at 6'6" or whatever he is, and and 330 pounds. And in those days, if you were that large, you were the aggressor for sure. But Hogan had a lot of charisma and a spectacular look at the time. I really thought that Hogan, not as the classic heel, so to speak, but more of a fan favorite. I really thought he could be just that, and he was something special, and with the right grooming and the right machine behind him and so forth, I thought he could really be a tremendous success and help lead, where we really wanted to go in our company.
Well, I told my wife, we were in Minnesota at the time, and I'd been there for 3 years, and Hulkamania was around in Minnesota. It wasn't as big as it became, but it was starting to bubble. It was starting to come up from the ground. And all of a sudden, I got a call from Vince McMahon.
And to Terry's credit, he came up with all of the Hulkamania ideas there in Minnesota. And I think some of them worked and some of them probably didn't work. And working on a regional basis like that is good, but doesn't mean it's going to work on a national basis. So then when we brought Hogan back in, we saved the Hulkamania stuff until after he became very popular, and then we won the championship and so forth, and then of course the birth of Hulkamania on a national scale. And it felt new and fresh and was and somewhat still is.
When it comes crashing down and it hurts inside, you gotta take a stand, it don't have to hide. If you hurt my friends, then you hurt my pride. I gotta be a man, I can't let it slide.
Someone can have an idea, and Hogan had an idea. And certainly I'll give him credit for that. Somebody had to play the music. Somebody had to come up with a logo. Somebody had to, come up with the right, T-shirts and this and that and the other. And not only that, someone had to take this idea in its infancy and groom it and maneuver and like it's clay, and mold it and shape it, into what it is today. And that's what I did. So, is it the idea or the machine behind it that makes it? I think I can take as much credit as he can.
Up next, the WWE's only Harvard grad pays a visit to his alma mater.
I did get a taste of the Harvardness. A girl about my age came up to me and said, "I thought you'd be a total schmuck."
And now, the WWE Rewind is brought to you by Castrol GTX, the motor oil as advanced as your engine.
Theodore Long wanted a white boy, and he got him a big one, Bubba Ray Dudley. Look at this. There's a damn Nowinski. Oh, what Nowinski just nailed Bubba right from behind, and Bubba's knocked out. What the hell is Nowinski doing helping Theodore Long and Rodney Mack?
When you mention Harvard, a word that comes to mind is prestigious. When you mention wrestling, unfortunately, prestigious is not the first word that enters one's mind. But Christopher Nowinski has made the unusual transition from Harvard graduate to sports entertainer. Recently, Nowinski was invited back to his alma mater to talk to some alumni about his profession, and while a little education about his occupation was necessary, he was met with surprisingly open arms.
Well, I was invited to speak at the Harvard Club. It was a part of a series called Conversations With. Apparently, many alums wanted to get to know me on a more personal level.
You keep schmoozing.
Yeah, okay. Say, give me your
The
degree.
board of the Harvard Club pick out speakers who they think will attract younger members. And we thought Chris would be a great addition tonight because of his special field and being the only person who graduated from Harvard who's now in wrestling.
It takes a bright, articulate guy to make it in this business. And no, I'm not surprised that someone bright enough to get in and graduate from Harvard might get to that point.
It was a little strange to rejoin my Harvard alums. I had to upgrade my verbiage a little bit. I had to change the words I used. I had my septum crushed into like 4 pieces. And speaking complete sentences for the first time in a while. Instead of grunting in the locker room with the rest of those guys. I think it's obvious that most of my peers are jealous of me and envy what I do.
Swivel your camera over there, you're gonna see a guy. I think he's here to defend the belt.
I only wear it like this at a cummerbund at a formal.
You probably would. With the tuxedo, it would look great. You know, the strangest question I think I get, and especially from a lot of Harvard alums, is...
Do you feel or see any resentment from the older guys?
How much does a guy like Stone Cold Steve Austin make?
Right now, if you can wrestle anybody, either in wrestling, who would it be and why?
You know, I think it'd be really great if I could work against a guy like Ric Flair right now.
What do you think about Goldberg and Brock Lesnar?
If you're smarter than him, anything is possible. Which is why you go to Harvard.
What kind of fan mail are you getting? Is it mostly men, mostly women, mostly hate mail?
I honestly get a lot of emails to my website that just say you suck on them.
Do you have a girlfriend?
No, Trish is not my girlfriend. When I first got into wrestling, I was sure that the Harvard alums would look down on me and think I was wasting my education. I got a lot of that, actually. But so I was very shocked that the people in this room were very proud of me.
I know what he does for a living, and it's quite a career.
But I did get a taste of the Harvardness here at the end. A girl about my age came up to me and said, "Wow, you did a really good job. I really thought that you'd be horrible tonight, you know?" And I laughed it off. I thought she was kidding. And after we all had a good laugh, she goes, "Seriously, I thought you'd be a total schmuck." I think what I wanted everyone to walk away from tonight from this Harvard Club conversation was that being a professional wrestler is something worthy of someone with a Harvard degree. It's probably one of the more difficult jobs that anyone has in the room. And I don't think people recognize that, especially Harvard people, because most of them are snobs. So I wanted them to respect wrestling as a great career.
Up next, we go outside the ropes as Tommy Dreamer gets his hand caught in the cookie jar.
It tasted like stepped on wet, soggy cookies.
We've attempted over the last few weeks to give a little extra insight into our superstars, their likes and dislikes, and their particular quirks. Now, when you mention quirks, no one has more than Tommy Dreamer, especially when it comes to his diet. Right now, here's Coach with Tommy Dreamer outside the ropes.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to One on One right here on Confidential. I am the coach alongside Tommy Dreamer. Tommy, are you ready?
I'm ready, Coach.
Let's do it. First question. Do you remember eating a cookie that was stuck to the bottom of your shoe the night of the Kurt Angle milk truck incident?
Yes, I remember it, and I also ate cookies off of, I believe it was Chuck Palumbo and Rhino's shoe also.
How did
Why
they taste?
I did that, I don't know. It tasted like stepped-on wet, soggy cookies.
In the past, WWE superstars have competed on the show Fear Factor. How would you fare on that show? Is there any of that nasty food that you would not eat?
I would probably win it. It would be maybe the physical challenge I may have a hard time with, but anything, no, I'd eat anything.
Being a native New Yorker, what is your take on the recent controversy on whether or not to increase the subway fares?
I drive all the time. I've ridden the subway once, so it really doesn't affect me. If they raise the tolls, though, that'll kill me.
How did you get your name, Dreamer?
I've always dreamed of being a professional wrestler ever since I was a little kid, and hence the name.
If you were not a WWE superstar, what would you be?
In prison.
Not where would you be, what would you be?
Someone's in prison. No. I get hit in my head a lot, I'm sorry. What would I be? I don't know. This is always what I've wanted to do my whole life. I can't envision myself doing anything else. Maybe a male dancer. Okay, no.
Next question. Did you watch any of American Idol, and did you think that it was rigged?
I must admit, I watched American Idol, and I was pulling for Big Ruben the whole time, and American Idol is very much predetermined, and yeah, it's fake.
What is the last concert that you went to?
Van Halen 1984.
Who is your hero?
Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, and Dusty Rhodes.
What place that you haven't already been would you most like to visit, and why?
Alaska, because then I'll have wrestled in every single state.
Last question. What special talent do you have that no one knows about?
Male or female?
Either one.
What special talent do I have that no one else knows? I can do that with my thumb. The ability to fall from high places without getting hurt.
Good enough. That is it. Tommy Dreamer, thank you very much. One-on-one with Tommy Dreamer. I'm the coach. We'll see you later.
Thanks.
When we return, JR's new cookbook is more than meets the eye.
I want to talk about personal experiences with Owen Hart. It's about his life, and about him living, and having the opportunity to be his friend.
Kurt Angle, a champion's champion. While few men dare to dream about success, Kurt Angle personifies it. His list of accomplishments reads like a college-level calculus book. 3-time WWE champion, 6-time national champion, 2000 King of the Ring, 96 Olympic champion, winner of over 40 international tournaments, 9-time WWE title, over 1,000 career victories. But the numbers just don't add up when a career-threatening broken neck turns an impressive math formula into a finite number. Lest we forget, Kurt Angle is a champion's champion, and nothing can keep this mathematician of the mat out of the equation. Soon, he'll be returning to the squared circle in prime form. Kurt Angle, triumphant. It's true.
No one in this world is as proud of where he comes from and what he does for a living than good old JR, Jim Ross. Jim Ross is a born and bred Oklahoman and a passionate announcer for World Wrestling Entertainment. In his mind, that was the perfect recipe for his new book that'll be released this Tuesday, aptly named JR's Cookbook, True Ringside Tales, Barbecue, and Down-Home Recipes. Jim Ross has already hit the trail doing book signings and hopes a unique blend of home cooking and some very interesting wrestling stories will be a must-read. JR has combined some of the top 10 lists that are not only enjoyable, but thought-provoking. And he also writes candidly about Owen Hart for the first time. The book is both serious and funny. But last summer when they shot the cover for the book, it was all about fun, as JR got to spend an entire day surrounded by, guess what? WWE divas.
We're here today at JR's, good old JR's. We're shooting photos for his new cookbook.
It's a bra and panties cookbook photo shoot.
I came here to JR's house along with Terry and Trish and Stacy.
You know, we're just standing around divas, standing around JR barbecuing. We do that a lot.
We are dressed in our best versions of country barbecue cooking.
And I wore my country barbecue outfit, as you can see. We started out very structured, and we took a lunch break and got a sugar highs and went out there and actually started getting real goofy.
I'm not wearing anything under my apron.
It's always fun to cut loose in a photo shoot. You get better pictures anyways.
It's supposed to be a hands-on photo shoot, but thus far, no one has let me lay my hands on anything with the tongs.
It's very rare that he will crack a joke and then laugh.
We were going along just fine, and then JR, he seemed to getting a little stressed out. He just wasn't feeling it at first.
Can you lean your elbow more like that?
Yeah, it's very comfortable.
JR, could you take a tiny, tiny step that way?
I can't do it.
You could tell it was not his cup of tea.
Hell, I'm not the most photogenic son of a gun there ever was.
Joe, but at least you're not out there in a thong.
JR is, I think he has a pose that works for him, and he's just sticking with it, which is good. Stick with what works, you know?
Come on, JR, give me something there.
So funny to hear him moan and complain about, what, I have to kick my hip out? Do I have to stand this way? What?
Yeah, I want you to reach.
He's so funny to watch. And his antics are great.
Here we go. Ready?
That ain't right. That ain't right there. That ain't right at all. Pretty much tell by the way I look. I like to eat, and I'm proud of it. I like cooking. I find it to be therapeutic. Takes my mind off other issues. The last cookbook was largely recipes contributed by our WWE superstars.
From what I hear, he's got recipes tucked away and that he's pulling out of the woodwork.
This cookbook is going to be a book that is essentially a collection of recipes from my mother, my grandmother, and of course my wife, who's the real genius in the kitchen in our family.
I'm sure you could use this barbecue sauce in a few of those recipes. What's that, JR? At your local.
Well, doggone it, it's that JR Slobberknocker barbecue sauce.
Gee, I bet you that is terrific sauce. This cookbook's a real unique thing because it's going to have a lot of, interesting little stories.
I'm going to talk about personal experiences with Owen Hart. I'm going to talk about the Junkyard Dog and Andre the Giant.
I think maybe it'll be like an extended version of the Ross Report that we might see, just all kinds of tidbits. I know I'll be reading that first before I go and try any of the recipes out.
I just hope people look forward to it, and I'm really enjoying writing the stories.
Great recipes, great stories, the essence of good old JR, and last but not least, icing on the cake, the divas. You put all those things together, I think that's a pretty nice little meal, don't you?
When we return, a true classic.
Fasten your seatbelt because we're going to take you to a first ever Hollywood backlot brawl.
Wake up. Look around. Your world is a metaphor, and its meaning is about to change.
Welcome back to Confidential. This portion of the program is brought to you by NikeBasketball.com. By Too Fast, Too Furious. How fast do you like it? How bad do you want it? In theaters Friday. And by Stacker 2, the world's strongest fat burner. Now available in Stacker 2 Ephedra Free and Stacker 2 Light.
Hi, this is Terry. You know, over the years, there have been so many incredible matches here at WWE, but the one that is probably near and dear, the most near and dear to my heart, would be the WrestleMania 12 Goldust Roddy Piper match. Earlier in the day, I went with Goldust. We shopped to find the perfect lingerie for him. That was hard. later on that night, it would be exposed, and it was so incredible. And instead of me talking about it, let's go to the vault and see that match.
Look out. Get out of the way, Roddy. This guy's a nut. Look at the mind games.
What are we gonna get here?
Constant mind games by Goldust. Wait a minute, what's he
doing?
Look at, he said he was gonna wet down the whole area. He did, and now.
Whoa!
Oh.
He's nuts, McMahon!
Get away from him. Get out of there.
Beat up his gold Cadillac!
I thought Goldust was nuts. Roddy Piper's, he's lost it. Unbelievable. Oh, no.
Are we close enough yet? Yeah!
Where'd it go?
Whoa!
Unbelievable. This is vintage Piper. Oh, Piper has been incensed.
Thought you wanted me close? I get a feel. Is that what it is? Huh?
Oh, no. Goldust trying to crawl away.
I can't believe what I'm seeing, McMahon.
I've never seen anything.
No!
Never seen anything like this ever.
Oh!
I think Goldust is being taught a lesson he'll never forget. I don't know if Roddy is doing now. Oh! Oh, no! Did you hear the smack of that?
He's been watching Natural Born Killers too much.
And Piper's opened his hand. Oh, no! Oh, no.
Oh! Run over him!
What? No, get out of there! No!
Oh!
Goldust is just trying to get out of there. Look out! He's running over him. He's going to hit him. He just hit him. He just hit Roddy Piper. This is totally out of hand. Roddy Piper was hit by a car. This has really gotten out of hand.
Is it over? What? What's he gonna do?
This is over. We'll return. Piper. What's he doing now? Look out! Look out! Roddy's going after him, I think.
Wait a minute. Here, that's the Cadillac. That's a gold Cadillac.
There's the. Look at this. Hey, wait a minute. That's here. We have our cameras out there. They're here.
Whoa!
Goldust, ladies and gentlemen. Wait a minute, Roddy. Hot Rod is right behind him. Oh my goodness. That's right outside our building.
This is right outside.
And Roddy Piper. Where's Goldust? Goldust is inside with Marlena. Goldust is inside with Marlena. Goldust has returned here. Wait a minute. Roddy Piper's back there. Roddy Piper's back there. Roddy Piper, ladies and gentlemen, wait a minute. Roddy Piper's on his way. That's what we've been told. Roddy Piper.
He's on his way where?
He's trying to find Goldust. And Big Daddy Cool Diesel. Finally out of the ring, and wait a minute.
What do we got?
I don't know. We've got our cameras. There's Goldust.
Oh,
there's Goldust.
Piper.
And there's Roddy Piper.
This is really not over, McMahon.
Goldust is trapped. It started in a Hollywood backlot. It looks like it's going to end here in the pond. One way or the other, look out, here he comes. There's no rules, anything goes. And Roddy Piper and Goldust finishing this off one way or the other.
I can't believe this, McMahon. Is this supposed to be going on or what?
And Piper.
Should we get
a challenge?
Should we get a referee or what?
There's no such thing. And look at Goldust dominating Piper. The opposite of what we saw. Oh no! Goldust is down. Look at that. Look at this.
Don't let him fool you, McMahon. He's vicious.
Oh, he's not fooling me. Not at all. Goldust with Roddy Piper. Sets him up. Oh, come on. Trying to set him up. And Roddy Piper now. Down to the canvas. Remember, no rules in this. It started in a Hollywood backlot brawl. Look at Goldust ripping Piper's shirt off. Look at this. Goldust dominating.
Oh, he's going to kiss him. Oh.
Goldust with Roddy Piper.
Piper may have had one good fight left in him, but I think all the fight was taken out of him in that Hollywood backlot. He should have never gotten in that car of his.
And Roddy Piper may be ruined today. And indeed, he chased after Goldust. On the top now. And Roddy, whoa!
No!
Piper in desperation, shaking the top rope. And Goldust paying the price on that. Oh, what a headbutt.
Oh,
and another one.
He did it!
Did he just do what I think he did?
Look at Marlena shaking her head. She loved it.
I think Goldust stepped over the line. Goldust, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the look of disgust on the face of Roddy Piper.
Whoa!
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Oh!
This is gonna get ugly! This is gonna get ugly! There's no rules!
I'll tell you that Roddy Piper's a handful!
Oh! move, Goldust!
Unbelievable!
I've never seen anything like this in my life!
Get in there, Marlena! Cover him up!
Roddy Piper!
Cover him!
What do you mean by that?
No! No, no, no!
And Marlena out there trying to cover up Goldust! Look at this! Goldust covering his top! Roddy Piper! And Hollywood Backlash Raw and wound up here live!
Up next, John Cena experiences true culture shock on his trip to Ireland.
This is Guinness. I've heard a lot about this. It's supposed to be wonderful. Cheers. Cheers.
What do you know about Ireland, other than the fact it is the birthplace of rock band U2, the home of Leprechaun, Shamrocks, and of course Guinness beer? It's also a country that has been embroiled in political and religious turmoil from seemingly the beginning of time. So who better to give us an entirely different perspective on the country and its historical sites than rap and WWE superstar John Cena.
What's up, WWE? It's the king of mesh hats and throwbacks. We're here in Belfast on the Knocker. You look down at that green right there, that reminds me of West Newbury. That's like my hood. That's Crazy Street over there. Right now, it's instead of mesh hat weather, it's more like ski mask weather, because it's a little breezy over here.
Beautiful country.
It is.
You cold? You cold?
No, I'm so taken back by the countryside. Behind me is the great Carrickfergus Castle. As you can see, it's not so great because it's getting worked on a little bit. The password is Vidalia. Yeah, I can sit at home. We're gonna try another door. We finally found it. This is the front door. I had to grease the bouncer like an Abraham Lincoln or a few pounds here and there. We skipped the VIP line. We going right in the party like the players do. You know what I'm saying? Damn, AC is blasting in here. It's quite a big spear you've got there. That's in a man-to-man way. That's not like a, you know. All right, this is a crazy place. I guess they told me this place has been around since like 1112. That's like, it's like a long time. It's gotta be where you take care of your business. They probably didn't have porcelain back then, you know, just an old school hole in the ground or something in it. I can't, I'm congested, but I can still smell, you know, and they got the grass growing here. So there's obviously some urination going on up in here. It's like the Pittsburgh Steelers, man, they got crazy defense up in here. You couldn't even make it in this. It's a castle, they got the defense. They got the brick walls. Stuff ain't going down. That's ancient Irish construction. That's an Irish type. This ain't a boat, it ain't gonna sink. The English are coming. They're kicking us out of the club, man. I don't know, I guess we got too rowdy in there. Look, she coming over to kick us out. That's all right, that's all right. I ain't gonna hate on you. We're going. It's a government thing, right?
Need permission.
It's a government thing? It's the government, man. Kicking us out of the club. Like that. What's up? I'm gonna check this place out right here. It's like 200 years old, I guess. Obviously, we're here at the Dobbins Inn Hotel. You know how players do. Players been doing it inside for like 600 years. This place is almost as old as a castle. Fit Finley hangs out here all the time. Says he's gonna introduce me to the Irish custom of Guinness, whatever that is. I'm gonna go in and check it out, see what's up.
Hey, John, you've seen all the sights.
We've been around.
Now you're gonna taste
Guinness. This is Guinness. I've heard a lot about this. It's supposed to be wonderful, actually.
Cheers.
Cheers.
You don't like it?
Excuse me. Hey, maybe can I get a chocolate milk? Thank you.
You're a wuss.
That stuff's great. It's great.
He's in an Irish bar. He's ordered chocolate milk.
Chocolate milk.
And he's got a pint of Guinness side here.
That's whomever. This is what real men drink. This is in a dirty glass, by the way. Belfast was great. I got to go and see the town because of the wonderful people on the media crew. I got shown around by Fit Finley. We got to do a lot of cool stuff. Check out some castles, check out some really old bars. It was really cool. I got to hang out with the kids in Belfast, right in the center of town. That was the coolest thing. Just talking with the kids and everything, just seeing how they think and how the cultures are different. Just like that. You have just had your first thugonomics class and you passed. Man, you all right with me? Cool.
Beats me how a guy can go to Ireland and turn down a Guinness beer for a glass of chocolate milk, no less. We hope you've enjoyed this week's episode of Confidential, but before we leave you, a quick programming note. This Monday night on Raw, The Rock will be Jericho's guest on the highlight reel. No doubt, that'll be very entertaining. That's all for this week. Gene Okerlund reminding you, if you see and hear it here, it's confidential.